Okay, today I am actually showing you how to clean, remove, or install. You can do all those. Your throttle body on cars or trucks. They're pretty much the same thing. Some of them is actually just on the side, and also to the throttle position sensor and the idler, air idler. This is where the location is. Yours could be on the side as well. On some cars is actually on the sides because they actually flip the engine on the side instead. So this happens to be up top. It's pretty easy. You would remove your air intake hose. All you need is that little section right there. You don't have to take everything out, but if you want to take everything out to make things easier for you, you can if you want. And this picture here, it's just one I showed you. You just need a screwdriver to unloose that. Yours might be a hex or might be a Phillip, whatever. The next one, that's just a screw to hold on the side there. That's where the circle is. Yours might be a little different, but pretty much the same. The breather hose, you're going to have to carefully remove that. You can put some lube afterward too, like silicone or whatever, to put them in if you want. This is where the two connectors are of the sensor. One is the sensor, and the other one is air idler. Air control idler. In this picture here, it's the acceleration cable and the cruise control cable. It's a little tricky. If you at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a little tip on that. But in this picture here, that's what I'm showing, and in the next picture here coming, I'm going to show you the close-up of it, especially the big round ring. That's just a snap out if you look at it really close. Pause the video if you have to. Look at it really close. There's like a key, and it just snaps right out. But you have to release the acceleration cable first. This is the close-up of the two connectors. The electrical connectors you can't really mess them up because they can't fit one or the other. One is kind of round, one is like rectangular long. In this picture here, just to show you the 3 bolts that is holding on to the throttle body. And then is actually a little bracket that you would have to remove. In this picture here, it's actually, I show you all of the locations. The 2X location, those are just loose only. You don't have to take the bolt out, just lose it. So the bracket holding on to it, and yours might be a little different, but if that's the case, just figure out what's what to get your throttle body out fast and quick, I guess. This is just the bolt that is all being out. On the left bottom, there's actually that stupid bracket's really giving it's just holding on to the body, so you just have to loosen a little bit, and that's why I loose the other bolts. Those are the 3 bolts on your right hand side, and then there's one little one's right there, and it's pretty easy to come out. There was nothing to it. That's all there is, the bolts that came out of the whole thing. And this is the 3 thing that is there, and also the gasket, and also the arrow down the bottom there. That's just to show you that little bracket that holds on to the, I don't know why they bend it, but in this case here, they actually bend that. And then I put a little foam on top of it. You can put paper, or you can put whatever you have, just to cover that, so not during your cleaning time it won't block that, or something fall into it. You don't want anything to fall into the body. This is where it actually came out, and it's pretty dirty, and as you can see, it's been a long time since I've been taken out, and it's really gunked up, and I'm glad I took it out. I actually put a little marking there on the sensor just in case. I thought it would be like the screw would have to adjust or whatever, but it wasn't, so I was okay with that. But I just marked it anyway, just to make sure. But you can do, or you don't have to. That's up to you on that one. Okay, this is after taking the, this is the sensor. And this is, I think it's a solenoid. What that does, it moves back and forth, and you can see all those gunked up right there into that hole. You see that? There's a hole in there. It blocks it to limit the air flow to this chamber right here. So I actually glad that I took this out, because look, all the gunk on there, and probably the seal wasn't sealing right, to give it the mixture or whatever, enough air to flow through. And also too, you noticed there's actually a bunch of corrosion on here, and look at them all, the surrounding here. So I'm actually glad that I took this out. It's my first time doing this, so I'm gonna clean up all that, and then I'm gonna clean that right there. But remember, these we don't know if they're like safe for cleaning agent and stuff, so I'm gonna use like silicone spray to spray them, so that way it's kind of protected, because these are like plastic, like I see, and I don't want to ruin them. And silicone spray cleaners actually safe for plastic. And I'm going to clean this area right here, because it's like a stainless steel springs, and I'm going to lubricate this area right here also afterward. And then I'm going to try to lubricate here. It looks like there is rotors in there that actually, when it spins back and forth, I believe there is actually some kind of this is the ball bearing. It's a small one. See that orange thing? That's ball bearing. So I'm going to grease that up a little bit to make sure that it's okay. But since this is a sensor, I don't want to mess it up a little bit, so I'm going to be careful cleaning that around there. I just need to clean around the gasket, that's it. And then here I'm going to clean a little bit extra on this one, because I think this is it acts like a solenoid. I can tell you that. I think that's a solenoid. It pulls in and out to limit the air intake in and out. That's my understanding of it. If you see that little chamber goes through here. If you flip that around, see that little chamber right there? That actually goes into here, and then it limits onto that. So that's what that is. And then when you rev the engine, this opens up. So you can tell that's pretty nasty, and all the gunk around there. But since I believe this would be the main cause of it. The sensor, that's just to tell, I think it's just to tell the position of this thing here, to add more fuel or whatever. I don't know. I don't understand that one, but I think that's what that is. But as far as I know, this one, it's just a solenoid. It's only an air solenoid. I guess air valve or something, because it has this little rubber thing on it to block that little hole. You can see in there, there's a little hole inside there. See it, the round thing there. So that's what that is right there. That's to limit the air intake in and out, I guess, to make the engine run smoother, I guess. But and then there's a breather hole right there. That has to be cleaned out. I can see it's blocking a little bit, so you can tell the performance right there. It's blocking a lot. I see like a small one, but I guess I'm gonna use a little thin wire and try to clean that out. Other than that, this should comes off easily. And I've also noticed around the gasket right here, it leaks a little bit, so I have to clean up all that as well. So that way, and I'm gonna spray some silicone spray on the gasket, so it will seal a little bit better, I think. Because you don't want anything, don't spray anything that you don't know that is gonna ruin that. So anyway, I'm gonna pause this video for here, and then I'm just gonna clean it, and then afterward I'll show you what I've learned from it, or is it okay or whatever, and then I'll put it all back. Okay, here is what I've learned after cleaning. This is pretty nice and clean. Look at the hole. Pretty awesome. All nice and bright again. Nothing stuck. I try to get as much as I can. Just a toothbrush and Q-tip. Also too, the solenoid that I was telling you about. That's the valve, the air throttle valve, I guess they call it. And then this is the sensor that goes on the side. There's a silicone here, a gasket that you can replace if you want. At this time, I think it fits okay. The stuff I use the mass airflow sensor cleaner afterward, because these are expensive. So I use it and then to dry it, because they take the water away. The silicone, that's important, because I found that this port right here, like I said in earlier, this is actually ball bearings inside here. And then I actually spray it right here as well, underneath the spring, just in case there's any water or anything that's trapped in there, and it makes it a little bit smoother. So all I did was just spray like this right here, and let it go through itself. And then same thing with here. And then spin this back and forth, just to lubricate this area right here and this area. But that's about it. This came out pretty good. Like I said, it's acting like a solenoid. It pulls in and out and let the limit. So I guess when you throw the throttle, you let more air in, from my understanding. But if you guys understand more than I do, then please post something so I'll learn from it, because this is, like I said before, this is actually my first time doing this. I have never seen this in my entire life. My dad decided that I can take the truck and play with it and learn something from it, so that's what I did this year. I have never, for the time that we own this car, this has never been taken out. This is my first time doing it, so if I can do it, then anyone can. For as far as I know, see that little hole, the second hole in there, the second hole right here, that hole actually closes up. This goes into it, and it closes that up, and it lets the air in, I guess, for idling. That's my guess. But I think that's pretty about it. I think it opens up so it can go through idling. So if this is not working correctly, then your idler probably have an issue with it. And also too, if there's air leaks or something, you probably have problems with that too. So like I said, I'm actually glad that I took it apart and cleaned it. Also too, I'm going to replace the two O-rings right here with my O-rings, like a bigger one, so it can seal a little bit better. Especially this one right here, because I can see that it's really messed up on the surrounding. So if you check the surrounding here and you see corrosion, that means there's air leak through there. But other than that, that's about it on this one for cleaning. It's pretty shiny and new right at that again. And I'm glad I took it off, because I actually learned something new today. That's for sure. And there's the breather hole right there. Make sure to put like a little like I use a little wire, and I just go back and forth. Don't make it too big, because you're probably gonna have idle problem. Don't damage that hole. But other than that, that's it on this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, it's all done and it's all back. I didn't have to make this little video clip, but I just want to recap what I've learned. You have to loosen that bolt right there in order to get this out, because there's a little curve right there that it's stuck that. But the bolt is pretty easy. This thing doesn't have any place to sit. It just sits on top of the gasket, and it gave enough room, so you don't have to worry about that. As long as the bolt is aligned okay, you'll be okay. Here there's a little clip right there. If you pull this forward all the way, you'll be able to unsnap that. And then there's a little thing underneath here that holds this cable here, the accelerator cable, and then you'll be able to get that little bolted thing out, clamp out. But other than that, that's about it. As you can see, pretty quick, easy, and simple. And like I said, it is my first time after all, and it's pretty easy to take it out and put it back. Cleaning was a little tedious because I was anal about cleaning, so I got everything out. You can't even see a little speck of carbon, but that's about it. It didn't have any issue before. It's just a little idling, little problem, like it doesn't shut off the engines or anything, but mainly people, that's what happened. So I figured that if I'm doing all this stuff, I clean it anyway. And also too, I spray some silicone right here, and I left it there to make sure that the spring will stay okay. I saw they actually put some anti-seize in there, and also the same thing with these bolts. So I'm glad they actually did that in the beginning. It's dry, of course, but it was there. And this bracket was the only little tricky, but other than that, it was pretty much simple and easy, in and out. Anyway, that's about it on this video.